So I purchased Clover Valley Dr. Pepper sodas. They're the generic version of Dr. Pepper. I received one that contained a foreign object, which made me and my family sick. Unfortunately, the company doesn't care what happened to us, and they've used the pandemic to their advantage to ignore us and to give us false information about what was found in the product. I would advise everyone who does consume this product to be very careful because it could potentially make your family sick as well. So we had got a 12-pack of Clover Valley Dr. Toppers from the Dollar General Market, and we came home and we had some. When I started drinking my can, I noticed something that tasted like antibiotics, kind of like a penicillin taste. And then I smelled the can and it didn't smell right. So I took it to a family member and I asked them, "Can you smell this?" And they said, "Oh, that smells kind of like ammonia or urine or something like that." So I said, "Okay, let me pour it into a cup," because I had a feeling something was in it. And when I poured it into the cup, a little thing about probably about a half of an inch, it was kind of gray. It had like a sharp point on it. It kind of looked similar to rat droppings. It was inside of my drink. It fell into the cup and there was like pieces of white fur inside of it too. So I'm thinking it possibly was rodent droppings, I guess. I'm not for sure. So at the time, I'm thinking that that's what it is. So my father and my daughter also were drinking some of the soda too, and they noticed theirs tasted funny and smelled kind of like Play-Doh. And so later on, as the day progressed into the night, we were all up having diarrhea, vomiting, and sick in our stomach. So I called the nurse's line, and the nurse said that I needed to go to the doctor or the hospital and to call poison control. So I called poison control, and they advised me, try to stop vomiting. If you found something in your drink, take it to the doctor's office, ask them what it is. So I went to the doctor and I showed them, I took the object in a plastic bag and I took the rest of the drink, and I went to the doctor, and my doctor panicked. She thought that it was something like a piece of metal. She thought it was sharp and she thought I needed to go get an endoscopy at the hospital. So at that point, I got a second opinion at another doctor. And then he said my heart rate was up so fast that he didn't know what was going on. He thought I was going to have a heart attack because of the anxiety of worrying about what was in the drink. So he sent me to the hospital. So I went to the hospital and I was there for about 6 hours. I had a toxicity test done. I had a urinalysis and several other tests done. The urinalysis said I had some kind of bacteria that was in the urine due to the drink, and that the vomiting was from whatever was in the drink, and then the diarrhea was from whatever was in the drink. So they gave me 3 different kinds of medicines. One was an antibiotic, one was for the heartburn, and one was for vomiting. And then I went home. I ended up staying sick for about a week. My daughter was sick for about a week. But off and on, I keep having bouts of urinary tract infection, which my doctor believes is related to the substance of the drink. So I never really got over that, and neither did my daughter. And she has no history of any problems with urinary tract infections or anything. So my doctor believed that it was whatever was in the drink caused some kind of bacteria that keeps coming back that we're not able to get over with. So I contacted, during this process, Dollar General, and I told them about the foreign substance that I found in the drink. And Dollar General directed me to the American Bottling Company. They're who bottles this for them, and it's a product actually made by Dr. Pepper. So I was in contact with American Bottling Company and Dr. Pepper about the product. And It was probably, I don't know how many months had went by. It was a long time, probably 4 months. And then they said they didn't know what was in the drink. They didn't know what it was. They said due to COVID-19, the factory was closed and they couldn't get an analysis of what it was. So I kept getting the runaround. The laboratory was closed that was supposed to give us the testing. And the person at the production factory claimed they didn't know what it was, but they thought that it was several different things, such as hair, oil, and different types of stuff like that. But in reality, it ended up coming out that it was a form of rat feces. But they refused to tell us this directly. It was an indirect statement. And they kept giving us like the runaround about how long it's going to take to give us an answer. So it was a very depressing situation because we wanted to know what was in our drink. We needed answers. We needed to know why we were so sick, and we never did get those answers. So our whole family was impacted by this situation because we purchased the product. They weren't giving us the answers about what's in it. And we looked on iwaspoisoned.com, your website, PissedConsumer.com, and we found other people having the same problem with this Clover Valley product. And it's not just an isolated case. It seems to be that other people are also having problems with this product, and they're not doing anything about it. And I think something needs to be looked into. Is there a problem with rodents at the factory? Is there something else wrong at the factory? Because too many people are having problems with this product. So it can't just be something that we should overlook.